So I was actually going to open it with like "Konnichiwa, mina, yoroshiku onegaishimasu." My pronunciation is bad because I slur everything.
Konnichiwa, minasan.
Oh, she's going full weave on us. All right. So, where do you want to start?
Wherever you want to start, bro. I'm not.
Alright, so I guess the topic for today is isekais, right? And I'm pretty sure everybody wants to know what an isekai is. Isekai loosely translates to go to another world. I was a nerd one day at work and basically sat there for like, I spent like 10 minutes to figure it out.
Change to the Pirate Asian attack.
Oof. That's something we could talk about next time. What makes an anime an anime? Maybe next Monday's topic if you ever want to come back and join me.
Yes, I would love to.
Yes, because I need guests besides my friends, just my gaming friends. So I spent 10 minutes trying to figure out what isekai meant, and apparently the I in isekai has the kanji notation of to go, and then Sakai is world. So my slow 24-year-old brain pieced it together. It's like, oh, isekai means to go to another world.
Yeah.
Whoa, right, just brain explosion moment. From there, actually, a very long time ago. But from there, you know, I started to like isekais, and there's like a big stigma around it. There's a big stigma around like isekais, especially in the weebdom sphere and whatnot. That, you know, it's just basically people either get ran over by a truck, gets transported, somehow miraculously pee themselves and have a heart attack, or get ran over by some sort of machinery and or die in general to get transported to another world. Yeah, truck-hood. The running joke in the weeb community. Truck-hood. You've been hit by, you've been struck by, truck. Many of my friends don't like isekais because they're all just, you know, the same thing over and over again. Somebody gets hit by, it's just basically, you know, somebody getting reincarnated into a magical world that had, or not even magical world half the time, but in some sort of another world where it's different from the world that they came from, and usually they get like an overpowered power. Like if you like, I know it's out on the list here, but because I watched a couple episodes of it, and then I'm just like, this is terrible. They're right at the anime con I went to. It's called Isekai, or no, I got reincarnated with my smartphone. Basically, from episode 1, apparently, the main character, I forget his name, that's how long ago it was, gets transported into another world with his smart, or like, the god's like, you can have anything you want. What will it be? And he's like, I want my smartphone, and make it overpowered, or something like that, right? So basically he gets reincarnated with a smartphone, and he has like affinity for all the magic, and basically becomes overpowered and builds his harem that way. And that kind of turned off many people from the anime. From there, I'm actually going to let KawaiiPorpoise, take over, you know, introduce herself, and then, you know, promote her channel.
Oh, Lord.
And then she will pick her first anime. Basically, every one of these here are ones that I've seen, read, and or watched.
Before I jump into any anime, real quick, I want to ask a question, though. I just thought of one.
Yeah.
So, in your opinion, or whatever, what makes an isekai an isekai?
Alright. So, my opinion is, basically, if... what makes an isekai is basically if they're being transported into another world. If they have some sort of overpowered power that makes them like the hero of that nation, cool. Or, you know, they just get transported somewhere and they just have a different life. I know a good chunk of them that I've seen so far, like by the grace of gods, actually. So the quick synopsis is basically he was at a Manju Black company, which is basically a company that forces everybody to do everything, or not at the bare minimum, but basically don't get paid for all the overtime that they do. But he ended up dying because he sneezed 3 times in his sleep, right? So the gods took pity on him, and it's like, hey, you have the affinity for all the magic in this world, but you could never master them. So when he gets, isekai'd into the next world, he ended up, saying, or he basically has, slimes do all the work, and then he basically builds up his, I wouldn't say empire, but he builds up his network to basically, what's the word I'm looking for? He builds up his network to basically live comfortably and to prove to the family that adopted him that he knows his stuff. And plus his love interest, he's trying to catch the fancy of his love interest as well. So that's fun. It was a really good, wholesome anime. It's not like he's fighting every scene. It's not like a shonen where he's literally fighting in every episode, but it's just like, here's a hurdle that I have to get over. How am I going to use my slimes to get over it? He was transported into another world with no way home, at least immediately. Well, in some animes and some isekais, they do offer a way home, but it comes with a price. Like you have to defeat the demon lord or what have you.
That's going to lead me into the first anime that I want to talk about that's on your list. Saga of Tanya the Evil.
Oh.
I've seen a few episodes of that thanks to an anime club I once went to. And I thought about it earlier and I was like, is that really an isekai? Because it's almost like a war anime mixed with like futuristic technology. And I was like, is that really another world though?
With magic on top of it. So yes,
okay.
Actually, it fulfills at least 2 check marks. 1, there's magic. Actually, it fills several check marks. 1, there's magic. 2, the person died somehow. Another check mark is they meet a god. And best part is, she's getting a season 2.
Yeah, I'd only seen the first few episodes of that back at an anime club, so I actually didn't know all of that, so thank you for the spoilers.
I'm sorry.
Spoiler warning for literally all of these animes.
We're not gonna spoil. We're not gonna spoil too much. We're just going to give you like a quick synopsis of it.
So okay, so what all were the check marks that had magic and they meet a god and
either like meeting some form of truck-kun.
So here leads me into this other thing. There's an anime that I'm currently watching. I'm not finished with it yet because I'm watching it with a friend. Tokyo Revengers.
Ooh.
Is that almost borderline isekai, or is that more just shonen?
That's more just shonen, because technically he's not going into another world. They're gonna spoil it if you watch the trailer anyways. But basically he just goes back in time. He's a time traveler, so to speak, to try to save.
But he gets hit by a train.
But he doesn't. Okay. But did he die though?
I mean, no, technically not.
No, because he's still alive. But he gets time traveling powers from said train. But he didn't meet a god or anything either, so.
He just met a random ass guy that just shook his hand.
Yeah.
Was like, hey.
Hey, guess what?
Welcome.
Welcome back, nerd, right?
Welcome back to your 13-year-old body. How's it feel?
Oh, great, because my knees don't hurt.
Oh, okay, now what?
I don't know.
Now it's your turn?
I mean, I can talk about all the ones that I've talked about, or that I like. I think you should watch The Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, though. I think you did mention something about knowing about it, but I think hands down...
Me, yes.
Yes. I think hands down you may like it. Or at least
I probably will.
The viewers may like it as well. Basically, guys gets reincarnated into another world as a slime and basically builds his own nation from there. And then stuff happens where he meets his best friend, which I'm not going to spoil what who his best friend is and what role they play. But basically, he meets his best friend, builds his nation of monsters, and everybody, or all his people in his nation, love him. You know, they choose to follow him because how powerful that slime is, because all the stuff that he can do. But yeah, I highly recommend that one.
I watched the full, like, first half, the first season, up until it got to Alfheim Online, and then I stopped watching it after that because it just became about saving the girl, and I was like, I'm over it. I just want to see video game violence. I would say yes, because it technically, they are in another world. It's a video game world, which, you know, as a lot of people, you know, play video games to escape the real world. So it's kind of like that, you know, and then they're stuck there until they, spoilers, until they die in the game, and then they die in real life. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's an isekai.
Aha! Fun fact, sorry, I accidentally mute myself. Yeah, SAO and then Gun Gale. I got, just to recap, I got a gun in Warzone that's a pink gun that's modeled after the P90 from SAO, Gun Gale.
The one thing I have to say about Gun Gale is Xenon is chef's kiss. I love her character design. So the next anime, isekai anime. I have to pick from your list, or can I say one that's not on your list?
Go ahead. If you want to pick from my list, if you want to pick from your list, go for it. I'm not restricting.
Well, my list consists of 2 whole isekai animes.
Let's
go. So many, you guys. So I sadly couldn't finish season 1 because too many things started happening. But I've been watching Restaurant to Another World.
Yeah.
Which is fun. It's mostly a food anime, but it kind of isn't isekai, because this restaurant the door just appears in this magical world where people can come in and eat the amazing cuisines that this guy fixes. And he usually makes like Western foods, like he makes like pasta and like all this other kind of stuff. So
yes, I believe I remember seeing that.
Yeah,
at least I read it. I remember reading it more than watching it. But I know, is it set in like a netherworld, and there's like guys, or not warriors, soldiers come up, eat and drink beer, and they're like, "Umai!" Right?
Literally, that's like every single episode has that same theme, where a person from this magical whatever other world comes in and is like, I've never heard of this. I don't know if I can even eat this. And then they take one bite and they go, oh, that's great. Let me put the special sauce on it. Try it again. They're like, holy moly, this is amazing. It's literally
and then they start drinking beer and they're like, umai.
Yeah, there's some of that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one. I would recommend that to you. I have no idea what's going on. Sorry about that.
It's okay. What? I wasn't even recording on my screen this whole time, so it's fine. We're both having technical difficulties.
Alright, so just to shamelessly plug myself again, you know, you can go to my Twitch channel, you can go to my Discord, accept the rules, yada yada yada. The main thing is stay super. You know, general tab, you can talk to people, forgot to tell when I went live. Clips and highlights, just post here, and post any highlights that you want us to look at. We can also do like a highlight day, one day, anime recommendations. This is the list that we're talking about now. You are more than welcome to pick your next one there, or pick your secondary anime that you want to talk about.
You talking to me, or you're talking to chat?
I'm talking to you.
Okay. I never know. Nobody ever specifies. Okay.
I will try to specify next time. I gotta keep my Twitch studio up just to make sure I didn't mute myself by accident again for the umpteenth time.
Well, I guess one of the isekai animes on your list that I have on my list and I've been wanting to watch for a long time, just haven't gotten to it yet, was No Game No Life. So talk to me about that one, because I don't exactly know what it's about.
So basically, I'm going to give you like the overview for the first episode, because it just goes on from there. So, you know, boop, 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 spoiler warning, boop, 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 spoiler warning.
Wow, spoilers.
So basically, the we meet the main characters. They're playing video games, which they're playing it on 2 different screens at the same time, like 4 different accounts in total between the 2 of them. And they're just like, you know, badass in it. They're just like taking on hordes and hordes of people by themselves, and they're called blanks because that's all they have in their name tag. And it's just like whatever you want to call them, but it's just like this blank, and then that's their names basically. And then the sister falls asleep because she's tired, and so the brother basically takes over all the accounts by having 2, 1 for each hand and 1 for each feet. They win, obviously. And then a message pops up saying, hey, do you want to play a game and or and win a prize? I know, some Saw stuff, right? So they accept the challenge, and it's chess. So the sister, who's very fluent in chess, or has the affinity for chess, you know, plays against the chess person, right? Or the person plays against the challenger. There we go. I was trying to think of the word, not the person. So they play, or she plays, she wins, and they're like, okay, good game, thanks for winning. And then something happens where they get sucked into the computer screen and then transported magically to the world that they are a part of, or that they're going to be a part of. And the whole thing is, with that world, in order to advance in life, or if you want to advance in life, you can play games of any sort and bet whatever you need, go from there. A quick tangent. Fun fact, my actual name isn't Franky. I just like going by the name more, because there's way too many of my actual first name, people with my first name in my town. So in order to differentiate from us, instead of going by my last name, I just chose Franky. If you know who Franky is, he's from One Piece, and he's the cyborg, which I have like 1, 2, 3, 4 figures of him over on my shelf. So this is one of my favorite figures of him. You know, this is post time skip Franky and whatnot, and pre time skip Franky is actually not that bad. But this is the man that I took my nickname from, my first name from.
That boy's wearing a thong.
Yes.
I'm kidding.
It technically is a thong. But that's not why I took the name. Okay, go in. That's no misunderstanding at all. But I took the name because he's a I guess in the show he's a manly man, and he's like very dependable. You know, just mucho macho, right? Just you know, just gotta show off the.
You know who else is a manly man, though?
Oh.
Kirishima, and that's all I have to say about that.
That's something we can actually talk about next week. But who's the manly man in ours? How about this?
Who's the manliest anime man?
First, at the top of the list is Rengoku from Demon Slayer.
Yes. Yes.
Well, actually, he's number 2. Number 1 is Inosuke. Highly recommend Demon Slayer. If you haven't seen it. But
Demon Slayer is amazing.
It is.
Season 3, where you at?
It's going to get canceled because of all of the not PG-13 stuff. We can talk about that at a later date. But next week, Monday, we're going to invite KP-chan back to do Who's the Manliest Man in Anime. And we can...
I watch anime for the plot.
You watch High School DxD for the plot. Alright, back to the main topic, isekais.
Okay.
And I know we had some
yes.
we had some tangents, so I thought
that's what happens when you talk with me. It's impossible to not go off on tangents.
No, it's fine. It's fine and dandy and all. I tend to go off on tangents too if you just look at the previous streams.
It's because we're Midwesterners, all right? We gotta go off on tangents, otherwise what is a regular conversation?
Where's Kusi, right? To bounce off of that, I don't know if you ever heard of Drifters.
Heard of it.
Yeah, I've watched it. It's really good. It's made by the same guy who did Hellsing Ultimate. But technically that counts as an isekai. Main character dies. He was from like feudal era Japan. Meets like he wasn't a god. It flowed with no powers or anything. Just your raw killing intent. But
that's weird because by the title Drifters, I assumed it was gonna be about like car racing. Oh no,
no, it's not. It's not Tokyo Drift or anything. It's not like Deja Vu. Higher than this guy.
That's why.
Any anime recommendations in that list there, I highly like. These are ones that I personally watched and or recommend. That's why they're in the recommendations tab. And I swear to Bob, if I see Baku no Pico in there, the person who put that in there, we're going to have a very nice chat.
It's Boku no Pico. Get it right at least.
No, I'm good.
Baku no Pico? Is Bakugo now the new main character?
Yes.
Because I don't want to see that at all.
You'd be like, get over me, nerd.
Oh my god.
It's King. I almost said King Chrism Death Explosion Murder God, but I know that's not his name.
Yeah, everyone just calls him Dynamite, but he's like, no, it's Great Explosion Murder God Dynamite. Yeah, because if you can survive Boku no Pico, you can make it anywhere in the world, bro. Everyone will be all like, wow, have you seen this crazy like violent video? And you'll be like sitting there just like darkness in your eyes, like I've seen worse. I've seen way worse, trust me.
I muted myself by accident again, no. So, any other anime on my list that you want to talk about?
I don't think there's any, unless you want to really talk about one. Other than that, I'm good to move on if you want.
You know, Rising of Shield Hero, very good. Highly recommend those. That's the very first isekai anime I recommend to anybody.
It's on my list.
With that being said, you know, we're going to end the stream. We need our food. We need our sustenance. Apparently, I need to go touch grass. So
you do need to go touch grass, for real.
I don't want to go touch grass.
Well, grass is so nice.
No, it's not, because there's bugs, and if you lay in it, I get itchy for like several hours.